Welcome to Campaigns of the Plains. I'm back here in the DM seat. We are playing a grand old game of Midnight, published by Edge Studios, formerly Fantasy Flight Games. Not a sponsor, but who knows. And it's a very dark fantasy campaign. We've already done 3 episodes. And it's starting to build up. We are doing a little 6-episode arc here, so we're halfway through. We're going to see what happens to our heroes shortly. But before we get started, just want to remind everyone to go on over to our YouTube. Make sure that you are hitting that bell, like us, subscribe us, tell your friends about us, and also go to our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Make sure that you follow us on there too. If you don't have time to sit down and watch our videos, you can definitely listen to us on the way to work by downloading our podcasts found on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, just about any of those other podcast platforms out there. We release podcasts every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Central Time, and we release new videos on YouTube every Friday at 5 p.m. Central. So, with that, let's go ahead and get a brief overview of what happened last episode.
Okay, so we started making our way down the mountain, and there was a snowstorm, and as we were going down, people were complaining how cold it was, and Prius had some nagging voice in her head telling her that she should try and kill our merchant elven friend, Nylor, but she was able to shake it off, and we all kind of noticed this and were trying to help, but she just kind of brushed us off. We encountered a bunch of boulders that looked like they had fallen the previous night from an avalanche of sorts, so we bore our way through those and managed to get past that, and we were attacked by a bunch of ice spiders, which we promptly got eaten and attacked and whatnot, but we killed them. We killed some of them, and then right at the very end, it looked like maybe a giant hand of some sort squished the mom ice spider. So that's where we ended for combat, and then we jumped to the gang of dicks, the Elven people, and they were like following us, and they have like our trail or whatever, and they said that we have the bird, so we know that they're looking for the bird, and
probably can't do that. Sorry, whatever.
What?
Never mind.
Flag is not appropriate.
Yeah, it is fine. I acted 12. It's fine.
You hear that? Not appropriate for children.
Sorry.
We're flag.
It's okay. This entire platform doesn't care.
Oh.
Right. Yeah, I think that was it. Like, they're looking for us. They know we have the bird. They think we have the bird. They don't know we have the bird. But we definitely do have the bird.
Yeah. But your party does not know that it is the bird that they desire.
Correct.
And so, yes. That is how the last episode played out. Before we jump back to our heroes, we head on back to the caverns. The fortress buried underground built by the forces of Isrador, the orc army. And as midday starts to peak, we look onward at the exit leading out towards the mountains, and we see a stream of these black silhouettes from a distance as they pour out of this cavern mouth. Blades waving in the air, shining off of the dim sunlight from the wintry air up here as they charge up the mountainside. We pan back and see the elf with the auburn hair, the one known as Zan. He stands next to one of the pine trees in the forest that still stands in the distance from this fortress, and surveys the work that his team has done. It is some time later that his agent, Tam, arrives. His bald, shaven head with beads of sweat dripping down it. And he says, I led the orcs on a wild goose chase. Hopefully they will continue to follow the tracks up the mountainside and hopefully do the work for us. We'll just have to come up from the other side and pick up the pieces. Hopefully we can get the bird before and he spits on the ground. The orcs do. And Zan looks at him and says, good job. And with a swirl of his finger, he calls the rest of his party to start hiking up the opposite side of the mountain to intercept your party, the hero's party, and the oncoming orcs. And so we head back to the mountainside. It is covered in snow. The storm seems to have passed on. The wind is not as gusty as before, though it is still a bitter air. And a hand, the size of a wagon, has fallen on top of the queen spider, ending her life swiftly. And as you follow the hand up, you see it connects to an arm, and then finally a face that is staring down at you over the edge of the cliff that rises above you. And you see it examine you with inquisitiveness. And it speaks aloud. What are Smalls doing up here?
We are quite lost in this blizzard.
Do not like Smalls. They bring giants into their small affairs. Why should I not crush you too?
I'll step forward and strum my cittern a little bit and be like, well, funny thing about that is we would love to get out of your hair if you could just point us in the right direction. We would prefer not to have to, deal with being out here and in your space any longer. If we can help it. I'm just gonna keep playing as I'm talking, and just if you could just help us, that'd be really great. I'm just gonna keep rambling as long as I can get a minute out. I'm gonna try and charm him.
Okay. Is there a roll to that?
And it's a wisdom save.
Okay. What does he have to beat?
16.
Let me pull this up. Not bad. You caught the GM unprepared. Um, it's a wisdom save.
Mm-hmm.
Only a 13.
Okay. So he is charmed by me, which means let me take a look at the charmed effect. It is. It just can't attack me, and it has advantage on ability checks to interact socially with this creature. I have advantage to interact socially. So he basically he likes me. Like, and I'm gonna try and persuade him to help us get to where we're going. We want to get into the city. So I'm like, hey, where do we go to get into the city?
Not
Like
the
finger
city.
guns, like very
We're looking to
like
get into
I
the
don't know
city.
what the fuck to do talking to giants. So
We want to get back into the caves, not the city. But...
well, the city is underneath the Elven
The
Lost
fortress
City fortress built underground, right? Isn't I thought
Yeah,
the Elven
the-
City was the fortress, or am I missing?
So the Orcan fortress is a series of caves built under the ruins of the old Elven city.
That's what I meant. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
And the giant looks down at you and with a weird crooked smile beams back at you and says, "You want to get down to the small orcs fortress?
Yeah.
Why would you want to go there?"
They have something that they took from us. We want to take it back.
Well, that seems to be reasonable. I can take you down to the Orcan City, I suppose. Well, you would have to climb on my shoulders.
Can we all fit?
Oh, I suppose you could. He is a huge creature, so he can easily carry your entire party.
How generous.
At this point, Nylor speaks up and says, should we really be trusting the the giant in this matters?"
I look directly at Nylor with like a super straight face, which Rorx does not ever have a straight face. He is very like jovial usually, but I'm gonna stare daggers at Nylor like, shut the fuck up. Let me handle this. I'm not saying anything. I'm just like staring at him like, you know what I mean. Ooh, I'll even cast message. And,
okay.
I think it's just like a whisper. I will just like look directly at him, just like talking to my hand,
Mhm.
and I will cast message. I'll be like, "Don't fuck this up for us. Here's our way into the fortress. We need to get in there ASAP.
Mhm.
Do you want to get out of the fucking cold?"
Okay. Make a persuasion check, please.
Against Nylor?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That is a 19.
He looks straight back at you.
He can respond to the message.
And you hear, "Very well. Who am I to complain? You are the heroes." And that's all he says.
Cool.
Um,
Sir, I look at the giant. What is your name?
my name. Many call me he who howls in the hills. But my true giant name is Door.
What do you prefer to be called?
I long to be just Door.
Well then, Sir Dor, how long will it take us to reach this place?
It probably will not take very long to get down the mountain slope. Oh, I would suppose in a half hour to an hour.
That's perfect. We can, well, I'm assuming we're going to have to hang on for our lives on your back, so we can't take a short rest. But at least we won't have to trek down in the snow anymore.
That sounds absolutely fantastic.
I'll take a perception check from whoever wants to make it.
Okay.
Perception.
Perception.
I got one of those. I got disadvantage because I'm tired, but you know. Okay. It's 13. It's only 13.
19.
Okay. It is you, Rorx, that notice a flash to the side. You see a figure in these muted browns and gray, like leathers, and you see them just peeking over a ridge, and you almost didn't see it because they seem to almost blend into the rocky outcroppings that they're hiding in. But you see that they are pulling back a bow and arrow aimed straight at your new friend, Door.
How far away are they?
I would say from you right now, they are about 40, 45 feet.
I will try and cast Enthrall.
Is that a charm effect?
It is. Oh wait, I should ask. Are they what type of creature? Are they elves or are they orcs?
There's a hood pulled over their head, so you cannot tell from this distance.
Can I tell from their hands if they have like thicker hands or like
They have thinner, lither hands, but you can't tell. It's 45 feet away.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll try it, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a. It's not a. It can't. If any creature that can't be charmed succeeds on the saving throw automatically. So if I'll try it.
Okay.
Elves aren't immune.
Does it succeed?
They just have advantage.
It does not. They sense your spell casting and they turn the bow towards you.
That's exactly what the spell is supposed to do.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, Enthrall literally is.
Okay.
It makes it so the target has disadvantage on perception checks made to perceive any creature other than you until the spell ends, or until the target is can no longer hear you. So I literally am trying to draw its attention.
Okay. It is
Task failed successfully.
I guess. Yeah.
task failed successfully. Yes. So it is it is annoyed that it has been discovered and tried to be cast upon. So it now has its bow pulled back, aimed at you. Are you doing anything else?
I'm just gonna because I mean, there's a verbal and somatic component. So like, I'm very obviously being like, no, what the fuck are you doing? Blah blah blah. Like gesturing over to it because I have to be able to like see it in order to cast the spell, obviously. So I'm obviously drawing attention to them attacking me. I'm willing to take the hit. It's fine. Be like, don't hit my new friend Door.
What were you saying, Alysia?
Is this? I'm looking at you. Do you see an enemy?
Yeah, don't you see that dude right there? He's gonna shoot me with an arrow, probably.
Certainly. I do believe I still have my call lightning up. Can I call lightning on him?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I suppose. Go for it.
Dex save. It's a dex save.
Okay.
15.
Dex at 15. Okay.
It is still storming outside, is it not?
The storm has started to die down. I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
It did roll a natural 20 to save.
But it still takes half damage.
Let's go. Okay, so it's 20 damage halved. 20 lightning damage halved.
Okay.
And I guess I'm still in my ethereal form, so I'll shoot a bow at it, too.
Okay. Go for it.
Give her full turn, honey.
Yeah, no. Who am I to take away player agency?
That's only a 15.
Okay.
15 to hit.
15 to hit.
15 to hit.
Yeah.
15 does hit. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's an additional 6 radiant damage.
Okay. Okay. At this point, the creature takes its hits and rolls behind an outcropping or behind a boulder to take cover and yells out from behind it. And you hear this husky feminine voice say, "I'm here to take out the giant. Leave me be, you fools."
And I'll just yell, "The giant's our friend, leave him alone."
And you hear Door bellow, "Ogre killer," and starts to stomp towards whoever this figure is. Are any of you doing anything?
I say we follow.
I mean,
Well, we're on.
right? I guess we could
Are we
follow
on
him.
door?
I mean,
Have we already climbed on
Oh.
door?
Yeah, I think we've been riding.
This is the end of Titanic.
You
we are on
climbed on door already?
I think
Oh, I
so.
thought so.
Oh, I thought we've been like riding.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah,
I thought he said climb
Oh.
on us, and we were like, yeah, we're okay.
yeah.
Okay, I did not pick up that cue that you had all scrambled on top of door.
Sure,
okay.
why not?
Sure, why not? So you're all riding your giant car, and so Door strides forward and he leans down and looks at this figure that is hunched behind a rock. And the figure, once again, has the bow pulled back and says, "So you're with this one then?"
She's talking to us,
Yeah.
and we're like, "Yeah, he's our friend. He's a big dude, and he's gonna help us. Why do you want to kill him?"
We are stranded
Because-
on this mountain, and he has offered us his assistance. which is the most we've received from anyone we've encountered.
But he is nothing but a mindless giant.
I mean, he seems really nice, and he's helping us. I don't know how he could be mindless if he's helping us.
He seems quite coherent.
Yeah, I mean,
Quite
he can
articulate.
talk. He knows common. He's not hurting anybody.
He saw us and spoke and questioned and did not attack at first sight. That shows a great deal of merit.
So he prefers door,
and-
not giant.
Yeah, he does prefer door.
It's at this point Dor says, "Little small, please do not worry about me. This one will not hurt me. This is Bedriel.
Bedriel?
I know her. She is the ogre killer." And Bedriel whips back her her hood, and she kind of squints at him. And as she does so, you see she has this dark, little greasy, almost like she's been in the wild for a while, slicked back hair. Think Trinity from the Matrix. And she has some really tall, sharp points to her ears. She is clearly elven. She has these very sharp, angular features to her face. Really high cheekbones, and she kind of reminds you of someone when you look at her. I'll take a history check if anyone cares to make it.
Why not?
14.
15. Disadvantage on the back.
Pretty good.
16.
Yeah, I rolled a 15 and a 16 on the die.
So it was 15. So you two look at her, and you could have sworn she looks just like the queen that you had met initially when you set out on this task.
Does the queen, to our knowledge, have a daughter?
Don't know. To your knowledge, I would say it's common knowledge that the queen is descended from some of the earliest kings and queens of the Elven Kingdom. You know that the queen is prone to taking consorts, but that there never seem to have been any children to arise from those unions.
I'll look at her confused and kind of questioningly say, my queen?
She looks at you with utter disgust and says, "No, I am no queen.
I could swear that
You
look just like her.
I assure you, any resemblance is coincidental."
Do I believe her?
Insight check!
Insight check.
Disadvantage because of this exhaustion. Oh, I got a natural 20 and a 9.
Oh.
Which is still a 13. It's average.
I got a 19.
Whoa!
Via whispers.
No. Her disgust makes it nearly impossible for her to hide her true feelings about the matter. She must have something to do with the royal family. While you can't glean who she might be, she looks roughly the same age as the person you saw on the throne.
A sister,
Do we know
perhaps?
if the queen has any sisters?
There is no public knowledge of a sister. What you know about the queen is that she has led the elven people against every assault from Isrador over the last 8,000 years. In that she is known to be the queen is a very cunning woman. She is, magically speaking, one of the most powerful magic users in the world, if not the most powerful magic user, and that it is very unnatural that she has existed for this long, when most elves hardly ever make it past their 800 year. She looks up at Dor and then over to each one of you and says, I don't understand how you came to be in a union with this creature. And then she looks at Dor closely and she sees some of his scars. Very distinct ones. There is one that runs across his right cheek, and on his exposed torso, you can see an X over his heart. And she keenly looks up at him and says, are you the one that howls in the hills? And Dor conforms this and says, yes. It seems we both have reputations that precede us. And in a surprising move, this elf takes a seat on a nearby rock and says, well, there's worse company you could have found yourself in. And what are all of you doing?
Okay. Well, I'm a little confused on this union ship, and you. But tell me, are you from this area? Do you know much about the fortress?
Yes, I know much about the fortress. I hunt up here.
Well, we are seeking an item rumored to be there. We were sent by the Queen, as it were.
Which item was that?
Well, see, they were very vague on the specifics. I believe it's something in the possession of the general that used to fight alongside her.
Of course she would be vague. Well, I don't know why there would be any item of this general. Which general was it?
Arderin?
Darren?
Darren. Sure, yeah?
Likely she is referring to some sort of spell focus that he had. Why it would be found in that fortress, I have no clue.
Would he perhaps be interested in intricate carvings of little birds and use one as a focus?
Well, yes, that was Darren's first focus he ever used. It was gifted to him by the Queen. It was
blue.
He was a very promising student before the last war with Israel. And he was rewarded with a gilded crow of some sort with sapphire eyes.
Does that sound like your little
It
bird?
carries a portion of his power in it.
Does that sound like your little bird?
Similar, yes.
What? I look directly at both of you and give you shut up eyes.
The one we left in the chamber.
Well,
we don't. We've never heard of anything like that. Shut up.
I'm dumb.
I'm also dumb. I have good wisdom, though. My intelligence not so good. Okay. Well, that helps. We have a description, which is more than what we had beforehand. At least now we know what to look for.
Are you sure there aren't any other possible relics that could be down in the fortress that we might need to find?
I have no clue what is in the fortress. Why would you go there? It is merely a defensive point because it defends the valley from the mountains on either side of it. It's the last blockade between Isrador's lands and our forest. There is nothing of importance in that cavern. If you found something there, I'd be frankly surprised.
We found a book that was incredibly waterlogged.
Oh yeah, we found a bunch of texts from an old book that looks like maybe a spell book or something. But none of us know what it does, so we were just gonna burn it for firewood.
Well, may I see it?
Why?
Say it's a spell book. Yes.
Well, I think it's pages to a spell book. I don't know what they actually do.
Well, I would be able to interpret a spell book if that is what it is. I would be able to interpret a spell book if that is what it truly is.
Well, fine. I'll take out one page.
Okay.
Of the many pages that we got.
So you rip out a page of this.
They're just loose papers, right? They're writing papers.
It's like a tattered book. The binding is coming apart, but it's still kind of held together.
Oh, I thought it was loose papers. Okay. Anyway, I guess I'll just bring down the book to her and hold it for her and let her see one page.
Okay. So she starts scanning the pages and says, "This isn't a spell book, it's a diary."
It's a diary? What language is it in?
It's written in mage's runes, but they only did that as a code.
Oh. What does it say?
Who is it of? Does it have any juicy secrets?
Sorry, go ahead.
There's something about certain summonings. It's very, the text is very damaged, but I get from it that there was a lot of success from summoning certain creatures, and that they felt like they were closer to power than they'd ever been. And this, can you flip the page? This summary says that the creature is exhibiting wild behavior. They're having trouble controlling it. They're having dark dreams. Dreams of Isrador. What's the next page say? This one, it's descending into ramblings. It's madness. It doesn't make much sense, but this last line, it says, I am his.
I think this must be the journal of the general then. We learned that he had lost his mind.
Yes. It's a very sad thing. Well, anyway, I don't think you'll find anything at the fortress. Where did you find these things?
In the fortress.
You've already been there and you want to go back.
No, we thought we
found
were
it in the tunnels leading to the fortress.
I think the tunnels are the fortress.
The tunnels are the fortress.
Oh! I guess we were already in the fortress? I thought it was farther down. I guess I misunderstood where the fortress was. I was imagining, like, this big underground, like, castle or something. I guess we've already been in the fortress.
If we've already explored it top to bottom, we should ask our friend here to instead take us to the bottom of the mountain so we can return to the queen. Tell her our findings.
Yeah, I guess.
And of course, return this merchant safely home.
Oh yeah. Nylor, you wanted to head south, right? You're trying to go back south.
Yes, I will follow you as far south as you'll take me. You are heading to the capital, yes?
Yeah, back to the queen. Yeah.
Well, I am farther than that, so yes, I will follow you as far as you will take me.
Okay. I will look up at door and be like, so change of plans. We're not actually going to go to the fortress. Can you set us down over by the I gesture to where the where we came in by the forest, because I feel like that's like the other side of the mountain.
So, I would say from where you are at, you are on top of a mountain, in a mountain range. The mountain range ends where the forest begins. So you are in the north in the mountain range. The forest is in the south. There is a valley to the east of the mountain range where the fortress was, where you came from.
Yeah, we snuck
And
through.
then there is more forest below that. So yes, you would have to go straight south to get to the forest again.
So I will be like, can we go south instead? Instead of back into the fortress? Is that cool with you, Dor?
Yes, I will take you to the south.
Cool. Bedriel?
Bedriel.
Bedriel. Sorry, updating my notes. Bedriel, are you good? Do you need anything else? You were very helpful, by the way. So glad we met you, so you could translate this book for us, because we had no idea what this was. But if you don't think we need to go into the fortress, I agree with you. You sound like you know exactly what you're talking about.
A little too much.
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
She looks up at you and says, yes, yeah. I would not recommend staying in these mountains. They're full of ogres and other dire creatures that are hungry for the meat off your bones. Yes, I would go down south, get out of here. The forest elves should help you. And she stops. And she listens on the wind. And everyone make me a perception check. Nova?
10.
Okay. Prius?
7.
7?
Mm-hmm.
And Dink? Bink?
10.
Oh man.
Dink's my cousin.
Shand?
Oh, man.
I know, I get
Did you
I
get
get
a
you
10
all
too?
confused.
Just like Bink and Shrink and
Yeah.
Sing.
You should meet my cousin
Aw.
Link. He's adopted. He's an elf.
Oh.
11.
Okay.
My passive
Yeah.
perception 17.
You all try and strain your ears to and your eyes to see and hear what Bedriel is paying attention to, and nothing comes to you. But she suddenly says, "There's an army of orcs coming this way.
I'm sorry, what? I heard you,
We need to."
but... What?
So we should go now.
We
is what
should
you're
go.
telling us.
Yes,
Yes.
we should.
We
We should
need to
flee.
get off the mountain.
Would you like to join us on the shoulders of our friend?
Come stand on the shoulder of giants.
So there's the title of the episode.
Also,
But Bedriel will say, "It's not my preferred method, but let's go." And with surprising grace and nimbleness, she almost like just walks up the side of door and is on his shoulders, and you take off at a pace that is unmatched by any small person.
Oh, quick question.
Yep.
Was that long enough to be considered a short rest? Like sitting, talking?
I will say that this whole interaction has maybe taken you 15 minutes.
Darn. Okay, continue.
So you start taking off at this quick gait down the mountainside, and you do see these orcs just pouring up the mountain. Now you can see like they have forged some sort of path through the avalanches and over the boulders, up the path that you would have taken if you had continued. And Door quickly stoops down, and you all have to like grab onto him as he is bending over. And as he picks up the boulder, he yells, "Nasty orcs!" And you just see this boulder lob through the air and just tumble. And like Indiana Jones, this giant ball just rolls and flattens half of the orc army in one go. And then he turns back and starts going back down the mountain towards the forest. Towards the edge of the mountain, you're on his shoulders probably for a good 40 minutes or so, and you know your magic is probably waning, isn't it? What is the effect of the spell?
I will read. It's not a spell; it's an effect.
Okay.
It's just like a. Each target makes a wisdom saving throw or is charmed. If it fails for 1 hour or until it takes damage, you attack it, or it sees you attack or damage its allies. So it's just charmed for an hour. He doesn't like get mad that he was charmed or anything, as far as I can tell.
Not quite the same
like,
as the charm ability or charm
yeah,
spell.
he's just more favorable to us.
Okay.
That's it.
So the effect of your spell does wear off, and you do feel an abrupt stop because he is no longer under your command. And he looks over on his shoulder and says, "That was a nasty trick."
I wasn't trying to trick you. I was just trying to befriend you quickly. We didn't mean any harm. We just really needed your help.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, the inspiration or the guidance.
Guidance.
Guidance. Is that D4?
Yes.
Okay. That's a 20. Dirty.
Yeah. Well, this giant you take is not stupid. He is willing to accept your explanation and says, "You small people are very different. But I'm afraid this is as far as I will take you. And you are close enough now that you can see the evergreens very close to you. It won't take very long for you to enter the northern woods again." And one by one, he, with his thumb and forefinger, picks you off of his shoulder and places you gently on the ground and says, "You would be best to stay out of the mountains.
Yes, I don't think that
are giant lands."
I don't think that I'd
And
mention again.
with that, he begins to climb back up the mountain.
I'll call up to him as he's going, like, climbing away. He's like, "Thanks, Dor. It was nice to meet you."
Very nice to meet you too.
Is the one chick still with us?
Yes, Bedriel is still there, and she says, "So, you have artifacts to bring to the queen, you said?"
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we didn't find anything.
Wait, I'm confused. We did.
We didn't. We just found the journal.
Yes, that's what we did find something.
Yeah. We didn't find any artifacts.
I think that she is
I mean,
smart.
is that not an artifact?
Did you not say out loud that there was a bird?
Yeah,
They definitely did. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we did say we left it in the temple. Or
I
that.
don't know how much she believed us
Yeah.
on that.
She might not believe us.
But we did. That's how we left it.
She has been an agent.
Um,
I think we can trust her. I think.
Let's do an insight.
Good.
Yeah, you can definitely do an insight against her.
By disadvantage, but... Oh, I got a natural 20 and a 1.
I also
Oh my
got a
gosh.
natural 20. So that's a 22.
You see that this woman has a very rough exterior to herself. She doesn't let off a lot of emotions. She doesn't show her hand very much. But what you do get from her is that when she says something, she means it. When she does something, she is committed. And so you feel there is a sensible degree of trust you can place in her.
You do with that information, Bink.
He will take the raven out of his gnome hole and show it to her.
And immediately I'm like gonna try and cover it up. Be like, no, we don't have that.
Stop. I don't care that you have it. Although it does put a target on your back.
As we've
Why?
come to notice.
Already had one.
It's-
Just saying.
That's true. We kind of do.
We
It's-
must make haste back to the Queen. There is another group that was traveling parallel to us. They may be offended if they did not receive the item first. Though they did say they were there only if we failed. But
Well-
honor and glory does strange things to people.
Yeah. Well,
Sounds very much like her to send a contingent. I would definitely haste back to fulfill your missions, but know this. Though the Queen has led us against many successful campaigns against the enemy, be careful in trusting her.
Why wouldn't you trust the Queen?
I have my reasons not to trust her.
Are all
And-
those reasons that you don't know her or don't look like her at all?
Let's just say the Queen is known for doing anything it takes to win.
well, I'm no stranger
That's all I'll
to that.
say on the matter.
Well, thank you for your help. I am terribly sorry that I smote you with lightning and hurled an celestial arrow at you.
If it was the first time I'd been shot, I might be more affected. But I will survive.
Maybe we should keep moving, as we still have quite a trek to go. What time of day is it at this point?
I would say at this point, it is probably the mid-afternoon now.
And how far? Do we have any
Well,
idea of how far away?
It's about afternoon, we'll say.
Do we know how far away the tree belt is?
Yeah, you're not very far from the tree belt. I would say in half an hour's time, you will enter the forest proper.
Oh,
There's
will-
interspersed trees here, but they're not very dense at this point. But yeah.
As we journey, I will cast Pass Without a Trace on all of us, just for extra safety.
Okay.
As we journey, I will cast Pass Without a Trace on all of us, just for extra safety.
Just
We do not know what enemies are tracking us at this point, I don't believe.
I will go ahead and take stealth rolls then from everyone.
Just roll once. Doesn't stack.
You from Rorx. Then let's go over to Nova.
18. So I rolled my poop.
18. Prius.
17.
17.
You too.
Bink.
22 at disadvantage.
Oh.
And
But really
Shand.
the first time.
So plus 10 from that.
Mhm.
Let's see. So that would be,
47.
let's see, 39.
We've lost him.
Good.
Where has he gone to? We left him on the mountain.
Okay. And so with that, you have a very high stealth roll. You seem to blend into the trees as you begin weaving and covering your tracks. There is lighter snow at this elevation, but you take branches and shuffle them behind you, and the magic that you exude also seems to blow the snow flat, leaving behind almost no trace of where you'd once stepped.
It's like we've had
You continue throughout the night, or throughout the afternoon. Does anyone want to give me a survival check?
Oh, well, I'm at a disadvantage because I'm exhausted, but I can give it a go.
Why don't we ask Bedrill? Bedrill.
I don't
Just a
believe she
Pokemon.
came with us.
Bedrill.
Bedriel. I'm sorry. So Bedriel,
Benadryl?
upon getting you to the edge of the forest, she takes off towards the west.
Oh, okay. She fucked up. Cool.
Yep. And she parts the ways with
We just did like an Uber
almost
share
no
with her.
goodbye, and she is gone.
Bye, bitch.
Well, does anyone have a decent survival?
No, but I could certainly help
No.
you.
So then I would only have to roll one die. Perfect.
Yeah.
Gives us a better chance. Well, I'm gonna guide myself. Okay. Okay. 21.
I was looking for an 18.
Okay.
You successfully navigate your way to the south, and you make a good pace compared to the trudging on the mountain and all the poor encounters you've had so far. This seems almost like a cakewalk. You have a good evening, and it gets late now as the sun begins to set. It is still cold out, but you've made a good trek now. Do you keep going, or are you going to stop for rest?
Do we want to try and find a outcropping or some sort of?
Bear den or cave or...
Well, I forgot I know how to cast a spell that can like give us a small little area of comfort.
You forgot. We sat in the blizzard for 2 days and nearly froze to death.
How do you forget something like that when it's a life or death situation?
We could have froze.
Well,
We could have lost toes.
I forgot because it just I don't know, it just slipped my mind. I was so cold I forgot that I have the spell. But so once we find a place I can I can cast it. It takes up a small area, but we can all sit nice and comfortably in it.
Can I look around to see if we can find a nice, like, ledge, cliff overhang, or outcropping, something that has a little bit of coverage for us?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Anybody want to help?
Are you saying that you're?
Somebody help me because I am very tired. I need someone to hold my hand as I search.
I guess I will help her search.
Thank you. You are a darling. I don't know why that one red-headed man hated you.
He likes to hold grudges. It's fine.
I'm going to also guide myself.
Shit, I dropped my D4.
It's gone forever.
Uh-oh.
I'll find that later. I rolled a 19 on the dice, though.
Hell yes.
So that's a 21, 28.
More than enough for the 14 I was looking for. Yeah, you find a nice little ravine that is dry, and it shelters you from the wind. There are tall trees planted nearby that blocks the view from this little cliff that is dug into the ground, and you are able to make camp at the bottom of it.
So I will cast the Lemoon's whatever tiny hut. It's a 10-foot radius dome. I can make it comfortable and dry regardless of the weather, so we can sleep in that.
Okay.
It lasts for 8 hours.
Okay.
This would have been marvelous in the snow.
Well, it will melt the snow. I can make it really, really hot, so I can melt the snow and make it dry, so we can just sleep on the ground.
That sounds fantastic. I'll put up some dancing lights in the dome while we're awake so that we have a little mood lighting.
I can also change the lighting in there, but yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That works.
Well,
Okay.
at least we are safe.
And I'll make it clear so that we can see out, but nothing can see in. So it's like a one-way mirror.
Right. So you set up this hut. Are you doing anything before resting?
Well, if you would all like to bed down for the evening, I will, of course, once again watch your unconscious forms.
You know, it's really weird when you say it like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, the sleeping person has always fascinated me. I've been keeping a journal.
That doesn't make it any better. It's just it's worse. It's a lot worse.
But it's quite interesting. You can tell a person's level of distress based on their sleeping patterns a lot of the time. It's quite fascinating. Just a hobby of mine. You pick up interesting things to do when you need not rest. I mean, I do rest, but not in the same way. And of course,
No
You
one
know-
else is uncomfortable with this.
Well, I'm confused. How do you not sleep in the same way?
oh, I don't need to sleep. I just meditate a little bit. Usually I read or I do needlework occasionally. Of course I talk to my son, but he does not respond often.
I'm going to send you a message in your head to Nova and say, I know you can change like me, so I know you're not really an elf. So how do you stay up so long without sleeping? Our kind needs to sleep.
I'm sorry, love, I'm an elf. The changing is my partnership with nature.
Oh, your druids can shape change into other
Oh goodness,
beings?
no, my magical tattoo allowed me to do that.
Oh, interesting. This is all in your head.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
like we're just like making expressions.
But I do like while you're looking at me and I'm looking at you. I mean, you can see it because it's all over my body.
Right. Interesting. Okay.
But I am what I appear to be. Atlas, however, well, he has his secrets. He just sticks his tongue out at you like he knows what we're talking about, even though he doesn't.
Sure, yes. That fey creature of sorts.
He's no
Anyway.
fey.
Well, your familiar is a fey creature.
He's not familiar.
Oh, you didn't summon him as a familiar? He's a real snake?
He's my son.
Oh, shit. Wait. And I say out loud, your son is a snake?
Well, he's not always been a snake.
Wait, how did your son turn into
How old are you? Get out.
He's quite young for elven years.
How old is he for Gnomon years?
I don't know how long do you...
I don't know. I'm just not old enough.
How old are you?
I'm old enough.
What's old enough?
What is old?
Like 16.
Yes.
You're only 16. That's
No,
fine.
I'm old. I'm older than that, but...
Oh, he's much older than 16.
Okay, you can stay.
He's 160.
Yeah, I mean, he's celebrated his 100th birthday not too long ago.
Daddy.
He had a giant fat rat for dinner. Quite pleased.
So explain why you have your son as a snake. Did you just like forget to change him back? Was there some sort of magic that went awry?
Oh no, he's cursed.
By whom?
I don't know.
Can he die?
I haven't spent the chance to learn.
Well, curses can take lots of forms, like immortality or forcing you into a different body like this. I know there are some spells that, if you get hurt enough, you like revert back. I don't know how to do them, but I've heard of them. Some of my other carnival folk knew how to make grand illusions like this.
Wait, you're from a carnival?
My traveling troupe of sorts.
Oh. I really don't know the extent of it, honestly. I am trying to find a cure. We've seen people.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard, I'm sure, without any religious people.
Yes, a right proper healer would probably be able to fix this issue in a jiffy, but there are none anymore.
I mean, I can heal a wound, but I can't heal that.
That kind of magic comes from the divine.
Fortunately, we're cut off from that.
Yes, it is quite terrible.
Well, I hope you find a cure for your son's ailment. Not sure how, but I'm sure we could find something. Perhaps after the Queen's mission, we can try that next. I guess I don't really have anything going on.
None of you are indebted to either of us, but you're welcome to come on our journey.
See how I feel.
Yeah.
But
we could join your
putting that
circus or carnival or whatever it is.
We're not really on speaking terms at the moment. Long story.
Did you get in a fight? Did you sleep with someone's significant other? That's it, isn't it? You've committed adultery.
Some of them are mad at me for one reason, and some are mad at me for a different reason.
Did you
His
much?
snake is also cursed.
Did you, much like
They're
our
just-
dear Shant here, kill someone's brother?
No, it wasn't murder.
What?
I
Murder?
Or
No,
I'm sorry. Lead to his death. Was a
No.
proximity to a death.
No, no one died. It was just people are just angry with me. It's fine. It's fine. We'll talk about it over a pint or two. I need to be a little liquored up for that conversation. Regardless, what happened with those creatures that Bink summoned? What were those?
Yes, I would like to know that as
Fiends or
well.
devils or something?
While you guys were having that conversation, is there a fire? Like a little fire?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there is some sort of
He is going to pull out
illumination. Yeah.
like a little like tea kettle, and he's going to just be making some tea, and then he'll pull out like a tea set, but they would be like his size, so I assumed you guys would be like little espresso cups,
Oh.
and he'd be like,
Oh, sure, yeah,
"Oh,
yeah.
does anyone want tea?"
You know what would be good with that? And I pull out a little tiny bag of these little bioluminescent mushrooms.
Oh,
They come from the land of my home.
Oh,
They're
my-
very strong. Only one.
this tea comes from my home too. My parents own a tea shop. We grow good berries and we make good berry tea.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's my last name.
Good berry.
Berry kind, good berry tea.
That's
Hmm.
fascinating. I
Yeah.
think that I've heard of that tea, actually.
It's weird.
You make money. Oh, I suppose. So what caused a tea drinking business owning a man like yourself to become a savage killer?
Well, I was talking about my cousin Link. He's a well-known fighter, and I always looked up to him, and I just don't have a head for numbers. So I've just like stabbing.
Yes. Oh, just remind me. You did not get a mandible. But it just so happens that when one bit me, it sunk one into my
Ooh.
leg. So here.
Oh, thank you. Stirs his tea with mandible.
Oh no, there's poison.
It's fine.
It's okay.
It's
Good berry, it's fine. Good berry tea. It gives you a little jolt.
Okay. It's quite gross. Okay.
Would you like some tea, though?
Not one stirred with a mandible.
Well, that was just my own little cup.
Okay, yes, I would love some
Yeah,
tea.
it just hands you like a little espresso.
Would you like a mushroom?
Are you cool? Are you cool?
Well, yes, I suppose.
Cool.
I mean, I am actually quite warm in this place.
Yeah. But are we gonna do this?
Do what?
Is this a party? Like,
I'm confused.
What?
I mean, they're very good at keeping you relaxed and helping with the restfulness. I hear they help with sleep for those who need it.
I'm not sure that the
do we
Well.
just shave a little and put it in the tea?
I
Or should we like to steep it?
if you if you put it on the back of your tongue, just let it dissolve it.
Oh, like a truffle. We do this.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. He's acting very strange about this. Actually, I have a question for you before we partake. Yes, you. What is with your pacifism and then slaughtering the spiders?
All things are innocent.
You
that
slaughtered
explains the
them.
first part.
You slaughtered them. I swear I saw a smirk on your face.
I was just a little angry, just for a moment. That's fine.
Same. I was a little angry in that fight, but
Yes,
Sometimes you
you.
gotta get mad.
I'm used to savagery. You.
Well, honestly, my sword Nissan was talking to me, and
what?
You never trust a talking weapon, my dear.
Also, what are
Never.
you talking weapons?
All my characters have a grudge against. Wait, your weapon speaks with you.
yes,
Is your weapon also your son?
no.
Oh, I
Oh,
have
good.
heard of that curse. Yes, it's a terrible curse.
Your significant other, your parent,
Is
No,
it a demon?
no.
your best friend.
Kind of.
Well,
Okay,
Does it tell
that might
you-
have been a little weird.
Does it tell you to commit crimes? and murders.
She's been vengeful, yeah.
A bit.
Okay, now hold on a second.
All right. Well, I
So
don't.
at this point, Nylor says, "My dear, could I see that sword of yours?"
Sure, I guess. I'll hand it over to him.
Oh boy.
As you do, you don't let go of the hilt.
Oh.
And he kind of like on the like on the guard, he kind of like grabs it and like yanks a little bit, and you don't let go. And he says, yes, I think I understand a little better." And he reads the etched writing in the side and says, "This is an interesting find. Where did you acquire this, my dear?"
That's a weird story. There's a place nearby my hometown that we call the Scar. I found it out there in an old battlefield.
You just picked up a random sword laying in a battlefield. I guess that's fairly innocent.
Yes, but this one seems to be a touch of the curse.
Yes, you chose to keep it after it started talking to you. She,
Yeah,
as you said.
yeah, pretty
Did
much.
you name it, or did it name itself?
Oh, no, that's its name.
Okay. Well, I suppose you seem to be pretty capable of controlling the urge for slaughter, for the most part, so... It's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah. You seem capable enough to control it. It takes quite a bit to wrangle one of these sovereign blades. If I am correct, this was made for a military leader long ago. It amplified their abilities, for good or for bad. Just make sure you stay true when wielding this.
I'll do it. I'm doing my best.
You know, I have heard that meditation can help give one peace of mind.
Oh, I'd like to try.
Yes. That is, I've heard what the holy people used to do before they were all murdered and stripped of their abilities to connect to their gods. But the meditation part is universal.
Okay.
Since I'm guessing we're probably not doing anything more today, I'm gonna say if we all want to try and meditate, I can help us. And by that I mean cast a spell to make us incapacitated. But it's definitely gonna knock us out for a little bit.
Why?
It will just put you in a relaxed state, and you can just close
I'm
your
trying
eyes.
to offer you these mushrooms to put you in a relaxed state. This is natural.
Well, I mean,
It's organic.
magic. How is magic not natural?
Yours is
It's a bit beyond the natural.
Fine. We'll just take the mushrooms and relax that way.
Fine, we'll do drugs.
Instead of magic drugs.
No, I will be here to watch over all of you to make sure that your rest is restful, not fitful. Don't worry.
No, that's that's fine.
Are you uncomfortable? I could
It's
not
really
look.
weird
I
when
could,
you keep saying that. You'll just keep watching over our unconscious. I think part of it is because you like to use the word unconscious.
You are unconscious. I don't.
Yeah, it
seems like
it doesn't matter.
it
It's all weird.
It seems like when I said sleeping forms, you were also uncomfortable. What is the correct term?
Not talking about it is the correct term.
But I'm putting together a scientific study in my free time.
Okay.
It just I mean, it seems appropriate. I have all this extra time in my day where the majority of my companions need to rest. Might as well put that time to use. I could write a novel, I suppose.
Do you talk about this with every group you travel along?
Oh, Atlas and I travel alone 90% of the time.
We're the first group you've ever traveled with, isn't it?
Well, not the first, just not been a while. And I did spend a long time with the Myconoids, and they are an interesting bunch to communicate with.
Okay.
But they did give me this tattoo. Do you see it glimmer a little?
What does the tattoo say or do? Is it one of those special ones that when you poke it, it like lights up or something?
It gives me the ability to shapeshift.
Pretty cool tattoo.
And also I could make it all my body, or I can make it part of my body, or a small part. I like all over. It feels more intricate that way.
Interesting. Well, Bink, do you mind if I look at the that raven or crow thing that you had? I'm very curious how this thing procured creatures out of it. I wonder if it's dangerous.
Well, whatever her name was, she mentioned that it held a piece of the general's power. So,
yeah, and the general was able to summon great fiends.
so that maybe.
So I'm curious if it can summon more things, and if it's something we should be wary about.
We should be, because this is not the artifact that made him mad.
Well, we don't know what made him mad. He just started rambling about.
No,
about
I believe we were told
was it
he summoned fiends with the power of the enemy, and doing so drove him mad over time.
so
Does that
was it the
sound right?
summoning that drove him mad, or was it Isrador that drove him mad?
I think that the connection to Isrador's power to summon these fiends is what made him mad. So I worry then, if you are able to summon the fiends, even if it was unintentionally, if it could slowly cause madness to you, I wonder if we should take turns holding it? Just to keep
I will
the madness even through all of us.
I will hand it up to you so you can look at it. And then Travis, you said when I did a wisdom save when the imps were summoned. Did I feel anything because I think I failed.
Yes, you felt like a surge of power, like electricity running through you, but not in a painful way, but
different
in a way that made you feel like a conduit, like unbeatable.
Would he know? So he would know it felt different because he had rage. But would he have known, like that? Like there, trying to figure out how to ask it. Would he have known that that's maybe what triggered it? It was like that thing, or was it just the fact that it was using his action? You know what I mean? Like, would he be smart enough to realize what he did, what maybe caused it?
I feel like this is maybe an insight check on yourself.
Okay. Because, like, he would. I guess I understand that he knows it would feel different.
You look like you're thinking really hard. Here, have some guidance.
Well, I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna need it. Where's the Sharpie Sharp? There's the Sharpie Sharp. It's only a 10. What is it?
You
Oh,
think
yeah.
about it. Yeah, it's
15.
15.
Okay.
Sorry, the light
That's right.
flashes off.
I
That
also-
occurred after a crit.
You
Oh.
think about it, and I don't know, it
It
seems
did.
pretty logical that, like, your rage, that's where you get a lot of your power, so
Yeah.
maybe that's where all that energy came from.
I don't know. It got really mad, but I've been bad before.
Well, it came after you
Really,
hit that spider really, really good.
yeah. So
Um,
I felt like a current going through me, like that spider probably did when you crushed her.
yes.
Lightning or whatever.
Perhaps a surge of combative power is what triggers it. Then, if that's
I
the
mean,
case.
I can try and cast a spell on something and see if it triggers something. But
Maybe we should not try
When
and
did-
provoke this thing.
when did the imps disappear?
So the imps disappeared shortly after the giant door appeared. They seemed to kind of like fuck off, and then you saw like a swirl of blue mist as they kind of dissipated in the horizon.
Okay. I mean, I'm not planning on doing this tonight. I'm just saying, if we encounter, a tree along the way, maybe it would be easier to do it when we're in the forest, not around any enemies,
I mean,
versus in the middle of combat.
I don't know if we need to accustom ourselves with its power, and since we are intended to give it to the queen.
Oh, I understand, but one of us is going to be holding this between now and when we deliver it, and if we do happen to be in combat, we should at least have an idea of how it works.
That's true. Or we could give it to our pacifist friend who does not invoke wrath in combat. Perhaps that could be the appropriate. I understand she's got a cursed weapon that speaks in her ear and whispers
I
her
don't
to
think
do
we should cross
atrocities. But
those streams.
I
I suppose we should. Maybe we
Um,
shouldn't take a rotation.
yeah.
Maybe we leave you with only one cursed item at a time.
I've had it for
Perhaps.
over 24 hours, and I've only had it do weird stuff, and it helped us.
It did. It did.
So,
I just worry
It's
because I
true.
think this may be the artifact that eventually drove the general mad.
I'm already kind of mad.
Which it confuses me because did the queen not give it to him?
She did. Maybe
I
it was a trap. Maybe
was-
she gave it to him as like a.
Or maybe
I know
it
you're
was
gonna
a
betray me.
Or maybe it was a war prize she won in a battle against the great evil, and she gave it to him not knowing its true potential.
Like the sword.
And perhaps she wants to reclaim it so others don't know of her folly.
Maybe. We should
Which-
definitely ask the queen about Badriel, though.
I think
I
I think it may be
Yeah.
best to not mention her.
I'm
But-
wondering if
It may be best to not mention that we know anything about this artifact
it
either.
may be. Yes, actually, it may be best to.
In situations with royalty, it is better to feign ignorance, I think.
Bedriel did mention to not carry much trust in the queen, which I have a habit of doing for anyone anyway. But what if instead, like you said, we don't necessarily show our hand? I could pass the artifact through my system, and if we reach a point where, yes, this does seem to be safe for you to take, then I could have it delivered.
Pass it through your system. Are you going to eat it?
The
oh, he's going to
syndicate-
pass it through his system?
If he said his system, I only
I-
assume he means to consume it.
Sir, this is wood. It is not real. poultry.
It will destroy your insides.
The
Yeah.
syndicate could handle it.
Oh, I see. I think
I don't think we should
No,
trust
I
other people.
think
We should
that
keep this
yes.
close.
I agree. I think it
They
is
are known
best
to be
contained.
discreet, and they do not need to know. They do not want to know what.
But doesn't
the
that guy
objects-
who wants to kill you, wasn't he part of that same group? And I just don't trust him either.
I think that it is
I think we
best.
should keep it here.
to
And I'm going to
trust-
reach up and grab it and take it from
I think
Rorx
it is best
and
for
put
us
it
to
back
put
in
our faith.
my...
I mean, I'm not
No.
gonna fight you on it. I'll
Yeah.
let you take it.
It's mine.
I think we
It's
should
my precious,
put our,
and we're just
our-
going to keep it here.
Okay.
You can hold on to it, sure. You're concerned that you called it your precious, but
It's got precious gems in it.
I think that
Sure.
we are best to trust as few people as possible with this. I mean, we were already told that it is dangerous to have in our possession, and people could try to harm us for it. I don't know anything about your syndicate, but are they that trustworthy?
So, are we going to be giving it to the queen?
She is the one who ordered it from
Do
us, so
we trust this queen to take this
Yeah.
thing that has a connection to someone who clearly, gave in to whatever
it's not our
darkness
place.
seems to be surrounding this
It's
object.
not our place to question our sovereign. We
I
are
don't
we
know.
were
But-
hired for a job. If we complete the job, then we can walk away.
I agree.
We can walk away whether we complete the job or not.
If we do without returning this item, we will be hunted. If she sends someone else to seek it out and it is not there, she'll know that we've taken it. There's no...
The backup team would get it. The band of dicks.
Yes, and they would
Yeah,
know...
GOD will get us.
They would know that it is not there eventually after searching, and we are the only other ones sent to get it. We would be
So-
hunted. There's no place that we could hide that the queen would not find us.
So we
That
should
sounds
turn it over to
exactly
the
true.
queen regardless, because if the bag of dicks, the bad guys,
The bod.
the bod,
The box, whatever.
The bod.
the backup,
Yes.
our backup. If they know that we have it, then the queen probably will know that we have it, and we should just hand it over.
As I
and
said,
hope
Are we
that
really going to
she-
assume they're smart enough to think, oh, they must have gotten it, and not that, oh, anything else could have happened to it?
I
I'm
mean,
saying they
they
are
might
traveling
know
with
more
a few
than us.
idiots.
What happens if we just go see the queen and give her that book and be like, this is what you're looking for, right? And then see her reaction?
Yeah, that's an idea.
You know
I mean,
what I mean?
we don't know.
We could just say we got
what she
chased
wanted.
out of there. There's a giant involved. It's not
But we're
alive.
not
There was a
given-
giant.
I mean, we could even give her both items. I mean, she hired us to give her the artifact. We could give her both items, plain ignorance, and say, we found these items, we don't know what they are, but they seemed important as they were guarded, and this is all we found. So if this is not what you're looking for, then it might be in another location. We don't have to let her know we know what it is. We don't have to let her know that we are aware of all of what it could be. To us, it is a decorative figurine.
Are we worried at all about what she might do with this thing?
This is something she hired us to get. Why wouldn't she not be happy that we have returned with it?
No, I'm not saying she's not going to be happy. I'm saying, are we, as people, okay with the knowledge that she may or may not use this for evil deeds? I mean, hypothetically, she summons something more than an imp and turns it loose on the city for all we know. We don't know what she's going to do with it.
She and her forces are the ones fighting back the evil. If anything, she would use it against them.
The channel
To
she
what end?
entrusted it to was also a loyal soldier fighting.
Perhaps she simply wants it back because it is such a corrupting, powerful evil, and she does not want it in the hands of the enemy.
How long did it? Do we know how long it took for him to be corrupted? Was it like
Sometime?
was it an instant thing, or was it like an over?
No, I think it
centuries?
was some time. I don't know how much time that is.
Does his diary have, like, dates and times and such?
No, on the diary. You would know from history that the last Great War was 100 years ago, and that the world's been locked in battles ever since on the borders of the Freelands.
But do we know when he turned?
You know that the turning point of the war was when the 4 Night Kings, which are the great generals of the Free Peoples, when they turned on their folks and switched to Isildur's forces. You know that it took many decades, even centuries, of pressure from Isildur himself to convert these Night Kings to his side.
It's been 100 years.
Yeah. So I don't think she'll be corrupted right away, but do we still trust her? Or do we just give it to her and...
What else are we to do?
What if we just ask what she wants with it?
And then she kills us for asking.
I just don't think we'd get a straight answer out of her if we asked her that.
Bink's right.
I think so as well. Well, we need not decide tonight. We have some time before we reach the capital. If we want to go to your syndicate route, is there anyone that you trust with this item?
There's quite a few people, and they don't need to know.
We could just have them deliver it to her for us, so we are not there. She does not know where we are. She has her item. I mean, she offered me money, so...
I'm sure she would be able to track us down. I mean, hypothetically, she doesn't want us to, come back alive for some reason. I mean, she sent a troop behind us. Perhaps we were not supposed to succeed, and so she sent the backup troop to succeed in our place.
I mean, if this is something that she wants greatly, it is best to send multiple groups where one may succeed where another fails.
But if they were our backup, then we were less likely to succeed than they are.
I mean, we are, by all means, not professionals at this, so it would be best to have multiple groups. I mean, that's the smart choice to make. But
It also,
you're not wrong. I mean, we do not know our queen very well at all. I mean, there could be ill intention for this. Or she may not want anyone to know that she has it, and her intention could have been to kill all of us involved, including the backup team, once the mission was completed.
possible.
I mean, we have no way of knowing.
Well, we have some time before we get back to plan and figure this out.
Yeah.
If
how
you
long
choose to go my
before
route, let me know.
we get back to the capital?
You are the only one.
It took you a couple weeks to get up to the northern forest.
Oh, so it's going to be a track to get back.
You
Yes.
truly are the only one that I know that has any contacts, firm contacts that could help with this situation. So your route seems like, to me, the best option. I know no one in these woods. Not really.
I know you guys. I trust you. I don't trust anyone else.
And as good as your family's tea is, I don't think that they're equipped to help us with espionage.
Oh, no.
And you, I'm concerned that you may murder us now in our sleeps, in a fit of rage.
Well, it's a good thing you're not sleeping then.
Yes, I'll watch you. If I notice you twitching, I'll awaken you to see if you're alright.
Okay.
Well, let's sleep on this, and we
Yes.
can come up with some ideas of how to get around this situation on the way back to the capital.
There may yet be another path that has yet to present itself for us.
Very true.
Or I could learn to summon things and take over for the queen. And
Yes, I think that is the best option.
I mean, it's option C, but
Yeah. I like to think our
That
little
is a
merchant
fine
friend
option.
that's here with us is just sitting, eating popcorn. Like, this is interesting.
Eating gruel. Like, what the fuck?
These people are weird, but
We
they
don't
saved
know
my
any-
life.
I still don't really trust him. Like,
Oh, not to worry.
right.
He's going to be watched for the rest of his life.
Ah, I see. I thought you meant by me, and I'm like, no, just until
No.
he leaves our group will I be watching. Actually, he and I watch together because, like me, he needs not sleep.
Right.
So, as you enter on, slowly become sleepy and make your beds for the night, we pan out of this magical dome, hidden under magical cover, in a hidden ravine deep in the evergreen forests. We move out even further, back up the mountain, where we see a group of elves that are searching the hillside. The elf with the obsidian-colored skin stares deeply with her golden eyes into the orc, which she has in a chokehold, lifting it off the ground, and the orc's eyes are blackened over. Just absolute pits, covered with some sort of magic incantation, putting it through a trance. And Rabideau releases the orc, which twitches upon the ground until it convulses no more and lays still. And she turns to Zan and says, "The orc had nothing. They saw a giant running down the hill, and from there they lost sight of it after the boulder crushed half of its compatriots. And Dap and Tam come running up the hillside, and Dap says, 'We lost him. Don't just trail fades out into nothing. I don't know what happened.' And Tam says, 'I think they were using some sort of magic trickery. It's unnatural that the footprints would just fade. The giant's prints ends at the foothills. There's nothing.' Zan is clearly upset over this, and takes his sword out of his scabbard and goes and hacks into one of the orcs that they had felled earlier, as they were cleaning their way up to this path to try and find your dead bodies and find the treasure they seek. And he hacks and hacks and hacks into this corpse, relieving his anger. And then once he could swing the blade no more, he wipes the blade, calmly puts it away, and says to his team, 'Very well. If we can't catch up with them, we'll try and head them off. Round up the horses again, and search all the Veradine villages nearby. They're going to pass by one of them. When they do, get back on their trail. We'll intercept them before they can get back to the Queen. I cannot accept failure. This is a chance to prove ourselves. We will not be shown up by a group of misfits. We waste no time. Head out now. That is where we will end tonight's episode. thank you so much for tuning in to Campaigns of the Plains. Make sure to like us, subscribe us on any and all of our channels. We thank you very much for joining us tonight and for every adventure that you've been with us. Thank you so much for your followership, for your friendship, and have a good night. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.